Welcome to the exhibition of the 14th DDP Open Curating Series, Chaeknuna Project Little Big Stories. Chaek in Korean means book, and Nuna means sisters. So we are sisters reading books for children. My name is Suhe, and I'm the boss sister of Chaeknuna. Chaeknuna Project is a nonprofit organization providing book and art education for children and youth to spread a culture of reading paper books. We visit social welfare institutions, schools, or small libraries nationwide and offer creative programs to raise children who can read books to others by themselves. In addition, we curate picture books and open cultural events for adults to pursue a virtuous circle of society through the artistic practice by holding book concerts, campaigns, and workshops. Now, I will guide you through the exhibition. Have you ever read a book with your eyes closed? Can you imagine how you can do this? People believe that they can read books only with their eyes, but you can also use other senses to read books. Let's walk through the exhibition hall to find out how to read books with your other senses. The first section is Express Your Story. In front of you, you can see a big colorful painting of winter forest. It looks like a back wall for a stage perhaps, but this is a painting by Korean artist Dain Kim called A Fox's Forest. Under the sunset, you can see a footstep of a little fox in the snow. And next to the painting, you can also see a movement by Lee Kyung-gu, a choreographer of contemporary dance company Goblin Party. This is a 15-minute performance by Lee Kyung-gu, a piece called The Fox Without a Tail. This piece was inspired by Aesop's tale, The Fox Without a Tail. The performance was performed in the opening day of the exhibition in front of the painting, and visitors can also express themselves in front of the painting. Maybe you can also use some props next to the painting and take a fun picture and hashtag Chaeknuna Project. The second section is Guess a Story. When we, as Chaeknunas, read books for children, we show them the pictures of the books first before we actually read the letters for them to bring out the curiosity and imagination. This is exactly how you can guess these 5 pictures. These pieces were created in collaboration with Big Future Child Center students, picture book writer and illustrator Kim Ji-young, who won the NAMI Concours Picture Book Illustration Prize, and the photographer Lee Jun-ho and Im Ji-hae. Students read a story with Chaeknunas and expressed each scene in movement to take a photograph, and the illustrator made a collage of them and made into one picture book. You can see each pictures and guess what the story is. The answer is in the brochure, but whatever you think can become the answer. One man in a red robe sits in the left, and his right you can see a box opening. And in the box, you can see so many things inside. You can step forward and take a close look. But the guy in the left doesn't look like he's in the present. If you can't guess what the story actually is, let's get some more hints in the next picture. In the second picture, you see a guy in the first picture, and he's handing something to a girl. If you look closely, it's a box he was holding in the first picture. Let's see the third picture. What can you notice? Can you see a clock ticking? And in the center, there is a box that he was holding. And there are 3 girls looking at the box. Look at her facial expression. Is she anxious? Is she bored? Or is she curious? Let's see the fourth picture. Wow, it looks like something's popping up. And the box is finally open. And it looks like so many things are popping out. One is running, one looks like he's jumping, the other looks like he's sneaking out. But let's finish the last picture. In the upper left of the picture, you can see a building that was in the first picture. And on the ground, there are people. Maybe that was heaven, and this is the earth. And all the people are holding boxes. Maybe they're looking for something. You know where the final answer is, but you don't have to know because we already know how to find a story without actually reading the letters. The third section is Feel a Story. These pieces are textile picture books for the blind children, and you can feel a story with your tips of fingers. Surprisingly, these pieces were created by elementary school students of Good Friend Youth and Child Care Center. They spent 1 year to write a story, draw the story, design the textile, and lastly, to record their own voice for friends who are blind. The 4 big pieces are extended version of small books displayed in the 3 desks. These books will be donated to the School for the Blind after the exhibition. Books are all in Korean, so I will shortly introduce each books and you can touch each pieces softly. I Love Meals is a book written by 12-year-old Park Sung, reminiscing her own experience in the classroom, bearing a hunger until 12:30 p.m. to eat lunch. She regrets not having breakfast in the morning and waits until the 5th period, but in her head, everything is about food. She can hear nothing but only wait for her classes to finish. You can shortly hear her voice through the Galaxy Tab audiobook displayed next to the picture book. Who Am I is a book created by 13-year-old Yum Sang-min. He specifically created this book for the 5-year-old little brothers and sisters in the blind school, because it takes time for visually impaired children to actually know the concept of a clock. The story continues as if it throws a riddle like, who am I? I have 2 thick ears. I also have 2 thin legs, and so on. Let's go to the next table. The Day of Dokbokki restaurant owner is created by 12-year-old Yoon Ju-yeon, who dreams of becoming the Dokbokki restaurant owner someday just because she loved Dokbokki so much. Have you ever tried Dokbokki in Korea before? If you have not, you definitely should. Anyways, if you touch through these books, you can kind of notice the recipe of making Dokbokki and imagine a day of restaurant owner who runs a restaurant next to the school. Now, can you smell a flowery butterfly somewhere nearby? This book is created by 13-year-old Kim Soo-hye, who wrote a short children's novel thinking of her experience in the countryside. One lonely child who lives in the countryside meets an imaginary friend who recently moved to her town. They together walk through each places and make memories together. This book is especially beautiful in a way how the writer expressed the color for the blind. And a lot of visitors has been touched by this one beautiful phrase. And let me translate one for you. After the school, the boy asked me to show him the sunset. He said he liked the red and yellow light spreading over the sky like warm water spread into the cold water, or like the sweet fruity taste of candy spreads out. We went up to the mountain to see the sunset. The sun was going down as if a sweet candy melts down. Isn't it surprising how a 13-year-old girl can write this sentence? Of course, there was little help from her mentors who visualized her thoughts, but you can imagine how hard she thought of writing these words just to express a sunset to a friend who cannot see the color. Let's move to the last table. The book in the left is The Day Before the School Trip. It's a story by 9-year-old Tae-hee based on her experience of waiting her mother on the day before the school trip. In the book, she says, "On the way to the school, I was very excited because tomorrow is the day for a school trip. But what if my mom forgets to pack me a lunchbox because she's too late?" It's based on a true story of 9-year-old Tae-hee who always waits for her working mom to be home. The last book is called The Snack War. When Dokbokki, sundae, fries, and kimbap fights to say that they are all better than each other, the main character finds a way to cooperate all this by calling 모닥치기, a regional word of Jeju Island meaning together, in the menu. It's a cute fiction created by Taeyang, 12-year-old student. And I will read one short sentence for you. White little Kimbap said, "You are not needed. I have plenty of nutrition inside me that she can't be full enough." Dokbokki, sundae, fries, and kimbap started to fight that they are all better than each other. Funny, huh? I think children's imaginations are extraordinary that we adults can also learn so much from. The last section is Hear a Story. This is an audiobook series called Bobo and Archie. It was created by Chaeknuna Project, who has long years of experience teaching books for the blind children, and Storycom, an audiobook content production company. We found out that the most numbers of picture books are visually described that blind children cannot understand. So the audiobook is more detailed in describing the space, color, and concepts of each situations, and it is to make people understand and be aware of the disability. Bobo and Archie tells a story of two friends. Bobo, who uses senses of hearing, smell, taste, and touch to see the world, and Archie, who is non-disabled. Through their friendship, we can hear how they understand each other and become good friends. The full season is composed of 7 episodes, and you can hear 3 episodes among them in Bobo and Archie's houses. You can also see Bobo, a blind child, holding Nuri, his guide dog, and Archie, a good friend of Bobo, standing next to the house. From the red dot in the floor, the very left is the first episode, the middle is the 3rd episode, the right is the 7th, the last episode. The exhibition is finished for now, and you can freely sit by the Christmas tree and write your own stories as well. How was it to read books with your other senses than just the vision? In a fast-working century with smartphones, robots, and computers, we work to connect people and learn from each other. We think that this is a very important work for the future generation. Chaeknuna Project will keep working on to learn through the book education, educate children who can read books to others by themselves, spread a book reading culture, and share a virtual circle of society. Thank you so much for coming to our exhibition.